Okay, we're going to do the page of the dominants right here. And remember that dominant chords have a major triad and a minor seventh or a whole step below. So I'm just going to spell all these: E, G sharp, B, and a whole step below is D, right? G, B, D, F, B flat, D, F, and then A flat, D sharp. Now this is going to be a fun one because it's not going to work out in almost every situation. Well, it might be fine actually. It won't work out in one situation. F double sharp, A sharp, C sharp, F, A, C, E flat, C, E, G, B flat. Okay. Remember that your dominant 7 quality can only be there and, oops, not leading tone, sorry, there. All these other ones, they're not going to work. So if you go into the key of A, now here's where it is interesting though. A major and A minor can both have an E chord as the dominant, right? Does that make sense? Okay. But subtonic is where this is a whole step below your minor tonic. Whole step below, right? So a whole step below E is F sharp. So it can be the subtonic in F sharp minor, but it could be the dominant for either A major or A minor. Okay? So again, we'll just ignore all these and ignore that and ignore that. So this could be C major, and it could also be C minor, because both of those will sport the dominant 7 chord on 5. If this is subtonic, that means we have to go up a whole step, and it's the minor key, so it would be subtonic, or 7, right, in A minor. B flat, again, we'll get rid of all of those, and that, right? So this could be E flat major. Now, there's no E flat minor. There's a D sharp minor, which you could respell this as an A sharp chord, but we're not going to do that, right? There's no E flat minor. There's only D sharp minor, which is the same note. But for the purposes of this worksheet, like that sound will work there, but we wouldn't spell it that way. We'd spell it like an A sharp chord for that. So we'll just leave it at E flat major. And then whole step up from here is A flat minor. Again, there's a G sharp minor as well, which is, this is relative to C flat minor or major and G sharp to B, but since it's not spelled right for that, we're not going to worry about it. Okay, so this will be fun. Right here, again, get rid of those and get rid of those. We're only looking at these 2 spots for this. So a 5th down from there is G sharp. Now, there is no G sharp major, right? There's G flat major and G major. There's only G sharp minor, right? We get this double sharp here because of the taking the G sharp leading tone, right? F sharp and raising up to F double sharp. Again, there's no G sharp major. You'd have to use A flat major, and we're not going to respell that for this worksheet. A whole step above this is, well, E sharp, right? And there is no E sharp minor, is there? There's an F minor. So we don't have one for here, right? Doesn't work because, again, whole step above this would be E sharp. We don't have E sharp minor. So, we do have F minor. We'd have to respell that. It wouldn't work though for this, okay? Well, yeah, let's just get rid of these guys right there, and that guy, and that guy. This is B flat major, and we do have a B flat minor. So either of those could be, the 5, this could be the 5 chord for either of those. Whole step above this is G minor. And remember, we're only interested in minor subtonics because it only exists in the minor, okay? Here, let's get rid of those. Let's get rid of those, get rid of that. It only happens on 5 and subtonic 7 in the minor. So this could be F major. or F minor. And this would be in D minor. Okay. I just want to point out that the dominant 7 chord is very, very common in music. It's the most common chord that has a 7th on it, and most commonly in the dominant or 5 spot. So your ears hear it, and your eyes can also hear it. When you hear a dominant chord, you hear it as a function of a 5. Even the subtonic here, which is lowered 7, usually functions as the 5 of 3. I'm just going to turn this sideways and explain this for a minute. I'm going to put myself in A minor for a second, okay? So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and A, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1 again, right? Now, we're going to hear this chord here, which would be E7, and it will be E, G sharp, B, D, and that G sharp comes from the harmonic minor, and that always points us back to 1, right? So there's my dominant. When I see the dominant chord, I hear it 5, 1. If we were here and we saw this chord, subtonic, right, which would be G7, G, B, D, F, it will be pointing us to there. And if you think about this, A minor and C major, this is the relative major and that's the relative minor. So most of the time when we hear this chord, subtonic 7, is functioning as a 5, pushing us either permanently or temporarily, not to just C, but to the relative major key. If it does it just for a second, it's just temporarily pushing us there for flavor and for emphasis. But it often says we were in minor, A and E7, A minor, E7, E minor, E7. Now we're going for a section or something, right? Maybe even for longer in the key of C major. So you'll hear this as opposed to the leading tone 7. Either way, basically, when you hear a dominant 7th chord or you see a dominant 7th chord, you have to say, well, this is functioning like some kind of 5, right? 5 of 1 or 5 of the relative major, or even 5 of a different chord, but it's always a 5 chord, and it pushes our ears there. So we want to think about that and understand that function. Doing these worksheets is not just so that we get good at seeing that, oh, this chord goes here and this chord goes here, but the next level is to say, aha, when we see this chord, it's almost always this. That helps us know what key we're in, even when the key signature doesn't reveal that, or we're not sure because we're in the middle of a piece and it might be something different what's going on, okay? And we'll do some examples of that as we go along.